Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Well, today I wanted to tell you a little bit about the 365 quilt challenge, and many of you out there may have already done this because this program's been around for quite a long time. It's been around, I think, since 2015, if I read everything correctly. The nice thing about this challenge is that it goes on every year and it is completely free and it's the same box. So if you get behind and your 365 quilt becomes a UFO, you can easily keep going the next year, which is really, really great. So what I wanted to do is really quick show you the blocks that I've made so far. And below in the description box below this video, there'll be a link to the 365 challenge. All you have to do is sign up. Like I said, it's completely free. It's a block a day for the entire year. And the reason I got involved with this project is because my good friend Kevin, he had started this, I think he said maybe 4 years ago or something like that. And I'll pop up a picture of his quilt coming up here in a little bit, that he had started and he never finished it. And he was telling me about it and I said, oh, that sounds really cool. And he's like, hey, you want to do the challenge with me? We can encourage each other. And of course, I was like, sure. Did I need another project? No, but it's kind of fun, to be honest with you. So you go in, you sign up. Like I said, it's completely free and you get a block a day. And I believe they said like each month will be up for 3 months. So January will be up till March, February will be up till April, and so on and so forth. Something like that, or the end of April, the end of March. So I believe that's how it works. So I know this is kind of later in January, so we're already, somewhat into January, but you can still go back and download all the patterns. There are PDFs that you can download, and after you download them, you can print them off, which is what I've done. And so far, I'm going to do mine. So far, so if you look at the pictures of the quilt, here, let me pop some up right now. So as you can see from these pictures, Kevin's is reds and creams, and then a few pictures you'll see there's people have done it with blues, and people have done it with scraps, and people have done it in rainbow. But if you can look at the quilts and see, there's parts of the quilts that are darker and parts that are lighter. So I decided that I was going to do mine in maybe Civil War reproductions or something like that, but sort of a patriotic theme. So reds and blues and creams and whites. So far I'm working on the 3-inch blocks, and they say which colors to use. It says like use a dark here, use a medium here, use a light here. So far it's asked for mostly darks, medium darks. So I'm doing the blues, and I'm thinking these blues are gonna go in that stripe of like dark that you see in the quilt. So I will show you what I've made so far. So this is January 1st. So they're little blocks so far. They're 3-inch blocks. I know there's different size blocks, but so far they've all been 3-inch square or 3-inch blocks. There's that one, and they go together really fast. I know they get harder as you go. It's kind of a skill builder. But so far they go together really fast. So I'm not completely caught up to this point yet. I need to print off a few more dates, but I've got a few of them done. I also needed to acquire more fabric. That was part of it, because I didn't have a lot of the Civil War reproductions around here, because that's not typically stuff in my wheelhouse, but I really wanted to do this quilt in that. For some reason, I was being pulled towards that. And I have a good friend who lives in the area who sells fabrics, and she sells Civil War reproductions. So I went over to her house this week and got a bunch of blues. Now I'll go back and get reds later. I have a few reds, but not enough, because you need to have a good variety for these blocks. That one was really fun. This one was made out of little strips. And that was the 11th. So that's how far I am so far. So I've printed off the next several days. They do print on one page. They come out better if you print them landscape rather than portrait, excuse me. And then you don't have to print them at all if you don't want to waste the paper. You can just download the PDF. I find it easier for myself to print them off and check off that I did that block. So I do have a few to catch up on, but I'm not that far behind. I didn't really know about this until after January was already here. And so, well, I think actually Kevin had told me about it before that, but he kind of challenged me to it after January already started. So I kind of started off behind, but I'm going to catch up this week. Now that I have my other fabrics in hand. So, because you really need a good variety. I only had about 5 or 6 different blues. And some of these blocks, like this one coming up, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different strips of fabric. So I was like, yeah, before I do some more of these blocks, I really want to get more variety. So the fabric requirements will be on the website. This 365 challenge was created by a lady named Catherine Kerr. She's got everything laid out for you, including after you sign up and you go through, there's instructions, an introduction to the quilt. There's lots of pictures that I showed a few here, but they've got a gallery so you can see what other people did. There's a Tula Pink one. It's really pretty if you like Tula Pink. If you don't like traditional colors, there's a lot of 2-color quilts. Whatever way you do it, I think it's going to be beautiful. I actually even thought about doing it in black and white, but I feel like you would need a really, really big variety of blacks and whites, and I didn't have that. So I think this quilt could be pretty in anything. I think it could be pretty scrappy too. Just make sure that you follow like the darks and then the lights when it tells you in the blocks what to do. But I hope that you'll join me, and if you are working on this, or if you've worked on it before, or if you're thinking about it, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you to Kevin for challenging me, and I appreciate that we'll have each other to check in with. Now he's quite a bit ahead, as you saw in his picture. He got through, I believe, June, maybe even to July originally. And now he does not have to wait. That was the other thing I was going to say, is he doesn't have to wait for the patterns to come out, because you can actually go in and purchase them month by month if you don't want to wait for every day. If you wait for every day, they're free. But if you want to purchase them, you can buy a whole month for only $5. And I think that's ridiculously reasonable for a whole month, like 30 days worth of patterns. So if you want to purchase the whole month and do them all a month at a time, you could do that. And I believe that's what Kevin is doing, since he's ahead, but not to that date yet for this year. Because they do take them off the website and then re-release them every year. So like every 3 months. So anyway, if you would like to join us in this challenge, please click on the link in the description box below for the 365 challenge. And also, if you're not a member of my Facebook group, go ahead and join that and post your pictures as you go along. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to see what colors you picked. I'm loving Kevin's. It's so beautiful, and I can't wait to see what everybody else does as well. So thank you for joining me today. This was just a quick video. I just wanted to share what the 365 challenge was, since I've been talking about it a little bit. And also to keep myself accountable to get these blocks done. All right, guys, take care and stay safe and happy sewing. Bye.